Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jay from Keeping It Real, your arbiter of gaming news and commentary, hitting you off with a studio production video where you know this is your channel, where all gamers' voices are heard. With your boy Jay, always dropping the word. Keeping them other gaming YouTubers like, what you heard? And where you always know, we always keep it all the way real. So what's up, everybody? I just want to thank you all for checking out my studio production video today. And like usual, I'm back in effect again with another video. And I just want to take out some time to thank all of my new gamers that have joined the Keep It Real family. I really appreciate the support. And that's what I do every day to make sure that, you know, I can keep you guys up on it and focusing on the facts of the matter and what's going on. And best of always is always keeping it real. So yeah, man, I wanted to dig into a really interesting topic that's came up. It seems like this guy, you know, he can't keep his hands out of the cookie jar. And like usual, he's back at it again. And if you're wondering who I'm talking about our good old Michael Pachter, the analyst that just can't stop. You know, when it comes to Xbox, he just, I don't know, man. I don't know if this guy has a gripe he's trying to, you know, pull on Xbox or what. But this guy just seems like he just keeps sticking his foot in his mouth. And yet again, it looks like here he is again with, you know, I mean, I don't know how many times the guy has to be wrong before the people stop taking him seriously when it comes on his, you know, him analyzing, you know, when it comes to the potential of the Xbox. This guy is just wrong time and time again, but here he is again. So man, I wanted to go ahead and dig into what his latest thing is. If you guys don't know what a time before this one is, and of course I'm gonna link this in the description. Where he has a prediction that the Xbox X is going to sell 1 million this holiday season, and he's saying it's not such a huge success. You know, I mean, now this is the same guy who came out and said that, you know, the Xbox, oh well, the sales that they got, now Microsoft called it the fastest selling Xbox ever in Xbox history. Now this guy came out and said, well, don't believe that, you know, then tried to walk it back when he got called out on it, that no, he was just kind of talking about, well, we don't have the numbers. So, you know, he didn't mean it in exactly in that way, but yeah, since no one's seen numbers, who knows? You know, it's like trying to cast doubt in people's minds. And it's kind of funny where he says in some parts that, you know, he's not trying to hate on Xbox. Man, bro, that's exactly what you're doing, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's like you're making up these things and trying to cast doubt this. And yeah, whether you see those numbers or not, I think it's pretty significant when the X is beating out the Pro and the Pro has been on the market for more than 7 months. So obviously it's quite significant. And you got to understand that it's not only just Amazon that was selling the X. It's Target, it's Walmart, you know, it's Best Buy, it's GameStop. You got all of these different retailers, mega huge different retailers all around the world, and they have thousands of stores all around the world, and they all got pre-orders. So to say that is not significant, if you're just retarded. And this is supposed to be a guy that's an analyst. I ain't even an analyst, bro, but I could count and I could figure out very clearly and easily that if all of these huge retailers were selling Xboxes all around the world and they released in many different territories, you got to understand, just here in America, Best Buy and GameStop, they got thousands of stores. Thousands of stores. Just one of these retailers has thousands of stores, and each one of these stores had a number of pre-orders. And if you spread those pre-orders out through all of these different stores, thousands upon thousands of stores, that tells you right there you're dealing with a huge number. And that, along with the fact that the pre-orders of the X surpassed the Pro, and the Pro's been out for more than 7 months when it comes to this fiscal year of sales. If you combine everything together along with all the sales from all the pre-orders from all the other stores selling out within 3 days, that pretty much tells you right there, and that's just here in America. That's not let alone all of the other regions that they went up for sale. For anybody to be talking about pre-orders in the numbers of 200, this guy suspected 200 to 275,000. I mean, are you kidding me, man? If you accounted for globally across the world, you're talking about at least easily 1 million pre-orders, possibly 1.5 million pre-orders across the world. I mean, across all countries and all regions, in regards to all stores and retailers. So to say that, it's just ridiculous, man. And it's just like and that's this breaking down his first when he made his first analysis in regards to, well, doing an article that it wasn't all that great, or don't believe what Microsoft's saying. Again, trying to cast doubt that Microsoft's are liars. It's the same type of BS you got when they try to act like, well, they can't possibly do 4K. That's not true. I mean, even high-end PCs can't even do that. So of course, with a 6 teraflops, they try to cast all these doubts. It's the same thing that this guy Michael is doing in this case. So now that's the backdrop of what the last incident was, is what he's trying to say. Now he's back again talking about it's going to do 1 million. Now I'm gonna go ahead and break that down, because yet again, this guy he should be really just, no one should take this guy seriously. Because time and time again, I don't know how many times you got to be wrong, but no one should take this guy seriously, because here we are again talking about 1 million. Now think about this. 1 million. Now it just depends on how you break this down. He's talking about 1 million during the holiday season. So if you really think about this, I'm going to break this down real quick. You think about, now this is my estimation, even if we put it to the smallest amount, which I would say would be 1 million. If you think about this, there's 1 million consoles. Let's just say there's 1 million consoles that's already been pre-ordered and sold through pre-orders, right? So that means 1 million already answered for, right? Now Microsoft, they haven't even begun to, now they're setting up for the next wave of consoles, and they've upped in production to set up for the next wave. So let's just say in the next wave, they're going to do 500,000, or let's just say, maybe they're going to do 700,000 in the next wave. So then that next wave hit. Now the next wave is going to hit in September, right? So now you're going to have September with a next wave of 700,000. And that's on to already put you, once all those pre-orders are gone, now those pre-orders will be gone within 3 to 4 days yet again. Because right now there's a huge demand for it, but the supply, we have no more of the supply, right? So those will be gone. Okay. So then you got 1.7 million. That to be called for, and that's by September. Okay. Those are already answered for. Then we get into, October. And if they do another round in October, let's just say from then, that's another 5 mil. Okay. So then you got 2.2 million consoles that are already be called for by October. All right. So then you think about it, that in November, they'll do a retail release where you already got 2.2 million that's already called for, right? Those are already be gone right away, because people will be looking to get their pre-orders right away. And then you're going to have, let's just say, another 1 million for the holidays. So by that time, by the holiday times and by the holidays, you would have been already talking about 3 million. Easy. That would have been both in pre-orders prior to the Xbox actual release. Then you're probably talking about at least another 1 million or so after, when it's released on November 7th. So easily, yeah, numbers can jump up to about 3 million, or if not more, at that time. If you're counting all the ones that are already pre-sale the months before, along with what's going to be sold once it hits retail stores. So I just gave you the breakdown of how easily it could, we could be seeing easily 3 million. So and also and also debunks how ridiculous 1 million sounds. It's just like, no. If you add up everything, And that's included in sales now. He's talking about holiday season. That's included in sales. What he's doing is just taking what the least number of what he can and say, just in general, that's what they're going to make for the holiday sales. Not even going to include, the pre-orders that happens months before the actual console's releases. Yeah, the console releases in the holidays, but people have already brought tens of thousands of the units of the consoles before it's even released. That's what pre-orders are. So he's just going to ignore that, go ahead and just throw his analysis in the title, trying to just grab people to go and look at it, and just, and not even going to take into effect that, okay, well, you might want to throw in your title the, including the pre-orders as well, so that's what I would say to that. I just think it's kind of ridiculous, man. Even though, he goes on to try to make these recessions and things like this in his article. You guys can go ahead and check it out. But the fact is, to throw that in your title, man, and, it's the same thing he kind of did when he made this assumption on, oh, don't believe Microsoft. And he just forgets about the fact that, doesn't even mention the fact that, okay, well, no, the X has already surpassed the PS4 Pro. Those things are things that, I don't know if he calculates that into his analysis or what, but to me, I just calculate that to this common sense and facts. And this guy doesn't seem to be driven off of that. He seems to be driven off of, just a hate of Xbox. And it's like, I don't know how you can consider yourself a professional in anything, especially when it comes to numbers, or, when you're doing this, because you're just, you're letting your hate just oversee, and anybody taking this guy seriously is really a pathetic joke at this point. So, I mean, some guys is okay with this guy, some guys are not. I mean, I just think he's ridiculous, and I don't take him seriously. But, I thought I would go ahead and do a video on this to break this down to, any of you who may believe this crap, or just may not really know and haven't really put two and two together and really thought about it. I'm hearing different rumblings from, different guys, different YouTubers. I mean, I heard this one where he's talking about that, oh, well, he's on the same stuff. Now, I've talked about this before in my prior other videos where I've been breaking down the fact that this whole thing of hardcore and premium is really annoying to me, because it makes no sense to how people buy things. And this was another guy that I was listening to. He was talking about that, oh, well, he thinks it's going to be more of a premium thing. And he's talking about, grandmas and grandpas, when they buy consoles for kids this holiday season, they're probably looking for the cheapest. They're not going to be buying, something that's so expensive at $500. So it's not going to really be one of those really, it's not going to make one of those, like, beat the PlayStation numbers. It's probably not going to even come close, because it's more expensive and it's more premium, and the grandmas and grandpas and parents, they're not going to be buying this for their kids because it's going to be too. And I'm thinking to myself, man, are you serious, bro? I mean, you're missing it. You're not making no sense to the facts of life, bro. You think about this. Anybody who says, oh, well, no, I mean, this holiday season, grandma, grandpa, and parents, they're not going to be buying something so expensive for the kids. They'll pick to the least expensive and this and that. You're missing it, bro. You're not getting it. You think about this. I'm gonna put this into perspective. Think about who will be the first wave of people who's buying it. Think about it. The first and foremost people of the wave of who's buying it would be all the people who are Xbox fans in general, who are pro Xbox, love what Xbox has to offer, know the value in it, and that's what they're going for. Okay, those and that accounts for millions of people just by itself. Okay, those are people who know what's up with Xbox. They know the value in it, and they've been waiting for the X. Those are millions of people by itself. Okay, then you look at the next wave of people, the people who maybe they went over to PlayStation because they felt like Xbox fell off when it first launched. They feel like it wasn't centered towards the games as much as, that power difference. Although it might be a slight power difference, they felt like PlayStation was focused on the right thing, and maybe they moved over to PlayStation. But when they heard about the X, they was like, yeah, finally Xbox is getting it right. Of course, with the power, I gotta have it, because that's when all those the best multiplats, 4K 60, that's what I'm about. You know, I gotta have that power. So you think about the millions of people on that train, that they just looking for the best quality experience they can possibly get, and Xbox is where it's at. The new X is where it's at. Okay, then think about the guys who were with the PC. Now they're looking at their medium to low range PC, and they're looking at what the X is capable of doing, PC quality with console simplicity, and they're scratching their head like, I might have to mess with that. I mean, especially for only $500, man, that's the price of a graphics card. I gotta do it. You know, and again, account for those are just 3 demographics of the waves of people who are just gonna be gunning for the X, and that accounts for millions of people. If you add both of those 3 demographics up, that accounts for millions of people. These are gonna be the people who are gonna be the first adopters, who are gonna be grabbing the X like it ain't no business. Okay, so if you really think about it, the grandmas and the grandpas and the parents and all that, that's like the last people. Those are the last pretty much demographics of the people who catch on to it. You know what I'm saying? You act like those are the first-hand people who are going to be looking and deciding where I should get the X. No, trust me, the X will already be sold out, because it'll be sold out for the people who's been clamoring and waiting for it all this time. It'll be sold out for the people who just wants the best quality, and it'll be sold out for the people who just wants the better platform that's going to provide them with, you know, with their most bang for their buck. You know, all those people in, you know, along with the fans of Xbox who wants that and knows where the best is at, they're going to be the ones that's going to be buying it up first. So it will be sold out. The people who catches on to it later on, the grandmas and grandpas, they're always the late adopters. Those are always the people who catch on way later on. Those are people who will be trying to mess with it next year. But by then, you know, all those people who really wanted it, they would have gotten it by then. The grandmas and parents, they're the ones who catches on to it at the tail end of everything. So to act like, oh my God, that's the demographic, old grandmas and grandpas or parents buying a console this holiday, those are going to be the demographics that's going to be trying to determine that's going to be the determining factor of whether the X sales kind of good or not. Like, you're missing it, man. You're not even paying attention to how it works. Like, you just don't get supply and demand. You don't get what's the demographic for Xbox. And, you know, and this was coming from a guy that, I don't know, it's kind of like a, you know, like I said, I don't name no names with YouTubers, but this is coming from a guy that seems to be kind of pro Xbox, and I just don't know if, and it seems to be a smart guy, but he just doesn't really get the fact that, okay, you got to understand the demographic, man. Like, grandmas and grandpas and parents are not the ones that's going to be adopting this thing early on. Those are not going to be the people. By the time that they get around to it, it'll already be sold out. And this is why I keep trying to tell guys, you know, and crap that seemed to caught on to it, that the thing is that Microsoft is going to sell whatever they're able to produce. This is what I've been saying already. It's going to be a more, this is what I was saying in my other videos, that it's going to be more about, can they keep these things on the shelf, as opposed to if they're selling it or not. Like, that's not the problem. The problem is going to be producing enough of them. I mean, it's literally going to come down to, hey man, how many they can get out. In my estimation, I would say, I think it's anybody's guess right now, but I really honestly believe this first wave was at least 1 million, if you're talking about worldwide, in all the regions that they launched in. We're talking about at least 1 million units in this initial phase. Then I'm hoping they do another 1 million in the next round. That'll be great, because it'll give people a chance, of whoever wants to get it, to be able to grab one. And I'm suspecting they're probably aiming towards 1 million. I said 700,000 as an example, but I would suspect that they would probably try to want to do 1 million. But either way, even if they do 700,000 or slightly less at 500,000, you're looking at, by the time of November, you should be at around roughly 2 million units already pre-sold, let alone what they're going to actually release when it comes to the actual launch, when the console launches. You're talking about another 1 million to maybe 1.5 million. So it has I mean, literally, it's going to come down to how fast they can really produce the console and to meet the demand. They're gonna, like I was saying before, they're gonna be running into some Nintendo issues, except for they actually get their consoles out. It's suspected right now that Microsoft is trying to, I mean, all this type of insidious stuff they're trying to act like Microsoft is doing when it comes to, they're trying to hold the numbers down to me. Why would they do that? Think about how stupid that is. Yeah, let me just, I could make more, but we're not. We can make more money, but we're just not. We're just gonna make less money and have our customers just waiting for a product so they could want our product even more. And think about how stupid that is in regards to them actually getting the product out and making the money on the product. Trust and believe, Microsoft wants to sell it. They ain't got time for no parlor tricks and games and all that. They're not Nintendo. They're trying to sell their product. So the thing is, any thoughts of that is ridiculous. I think they were caught off guard where they didn't realize how big the demand was really going to be. But I think they're going to really step it up and actually get as much consoles as they can out there in time enough for the holiday season. So I don't really think that's going to be so much of a thing. I'm sure they're going to try to put out as many consoles as possible, but you can think about, that's going to tell you just how off that number is really going to be with this guy Michael Pachter talking about 1 million holiday season. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, no, actually you might or anybody even just trying to say, they're trying to marginalize it by trying to talk about like, well, it's kind of expensive, it's premium, it's how many people gonna be really buying it. It's like, no, man, you're gonna find out you got a demographic of millions of people upon millions of people who are gonna be buying it initially. Of course they are. And you got to understand, each one of those people, those millions of people who buy it, once they have it, experience it, you don't think their friends and their family ain't gonna be noticing it? The people who didn't buy it, the people who is when they get into their homes and their family sees it and their friends sees it and their friends see the games that they're playing and how much more better those games look than what they're playing. You don't think that doesn't perpetuate more sales? Of course it does. And you don't think that Microsoft ain't gonna be advertising the hell out of it leading up to the launch and after the launch? Of course they are. I'm seeing advertisements getting set up unlike anything I've seen since the 360. I mean, they're really going all out on this. Microsoft is really going all out on advertisement. So this is going to be a huge push. And anybody is thinking that, this is going to be a premium console and, like the sales is not, I don't think it's going to be, in the light of getting close to Sony. Like, you're going to find out how wrong you are. Because very easily, I just showed you how we could be seeing numbers like 3 million in this year, let alone next year, right? So if you can, and this goes back to what I was saying when I was talking about 6 million or to 5 million easily within 6 months. People probably was thinking I was crazy about saying that, but no, if you really do the math and you really think about it, no, yeah, if they can get the consoles out fast enough, sure, they can do 6 million or 5 million in 6 months. Yeah, actually more than that. Like, this depends on, it's going to come down to how fast they can get the consoles out. That's what is really going to come down to. And that's why I'm saying that Microsoft ain't sitting back and just, let's just hold these consoles back so we can drive up demand. No, they're not Nintendo. They're not doing that. No, they get it that, no, they need to try to get these out as soon as possible. I think they were shocked and surprised, but I think now that they see the demand and they can see it for themselves in the actual numbers, yeah, they're going to go all out and try to produce as many as possible. This is the reason why immediately you notice that they shut down the production of the OG Xbox. They ain't selling those damn things no more. You know why? Because all that production cost and all that production labor is now going to be going full steam ahead on the X. And what you're also going to see is quite a little of a slowdown on the S's as well. You're going to see a lot of attention being played to the X, and it's going to play right into what I've been saying before, is that the X will be the golden standard. It will be the standard to what Xbox is. A lot of people are still thinking, it's going to be the S. Is still, no, not necessarily. Yes, the X still will be that lower tier that a lot of, that's an entry tier that a lot of Xbox gamers or gamers in general could enter into. However, the X is going to be such an attractive package overall that people are going to figure out that, yeah, why don't I just pay the extra little couple hundred and actually just get me the real deal with the X. And that is going to be just all based on the value that it provides, and it's just going to snowball from there. So yeah, man, that's my my analysis on that. That Pachter is just, you know, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Like, this guy's been proven and not know what he's talking about. So yeah, man, that's the breakdown. I want you guys to go ahead and hit me up in the comment box, tell me what you think. And you know, like usual, man, you know, make sure if you dig my content to like, share, subscribe, to keep it real family. Make sure you hit that little bell on the side, man. Make sure you can get those notifications. You know, YouTube be acting up sometimes. So all right, man, until the next time. This is Jay. I'm always keeping it real, and I'm gone.